happens, Bobby?
We are the Markout Movie Podcasters. I'm not sure if you're hearing us. I got a new microphone that I was trying out, and I wasn't hearing. I didn't hear the music playing. So and we went off for a little bit. I'm back. I don't know what's going on. But today's episode. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. Brandon just checked to make sure we had audio. All right. In today's episode, we are doing Halloween H20. I am not going to bring, I ain't going to worry about giving my thing. So, Halloween H20 is the return of Jamie Lee Curtis, aka Laurie Strode, in this movie. Kate, what's her name? Not Kate, but Tate, something Tate. Karen Tate?
Yeah, I think so.
Karen Tate. She takes on Alias. You'll find out why. So she.
So it's been 20 years.
Yeah, she.
20 plus.
She, after the events of Halloween 2, she fakes her death and relocates to California, far away from Haddonfield, and has a life where a child who is a boy named John, not Jamie, a daughter, because she doesn't exist in this universe, and also her brother, who's still Michael, 20 years later, decides to come back to stalk her. Have you ever noticed that it's with Jamie Lee Curtis in these films now? It's like after a long period of time away from Michael.
20 years.
Yeah. Now and then in H2 and then Halloween 2018 is 40 years.
Yeah.
I think it's 40, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy though to think about that. But this movie stars Jamie Lee Curtis, who returns to the franchise. Also, Josh Hartnett, who makes his film debut.
Yep.
LL Cool J, who does not make his film debut. He's just in this movie. He was actually, his film debut was, I want to say Deep Blue Sea, but I might be wrong.
No, it's 99.
Oh, well, no, then maybe this was his film debut as well. Maybe this is.
I mean, he did a TV show.
What TV show?
In the House, I think.
It was in the 90s.
Yeah.
But yeah, it stars LL Cool J as well. Then stars Dawson's Creek alum. What's her name?
Michelle Williams.
Yep.
Jen.
And Brandon Beeman, because this is all about some Dawson's Creek in this episode. And
not all, but
yeah, it's got a lot of Dawson's Creek off in it. And then we have who else we have?
Alan Arkin.
Oh, real quick. Then we also have Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who
You're forgetting the mother.
Yeah. Janet Leigh, who is is from Psycho, who is the precursor to the Scream Queen. She had the most famous scream and death in cinematic history, Psycho in the shower scene. Because that's what kicked off the slasher craze. Not craze. It kicked off what I consider the slasher films.
Psycho.
I consider Psycho the predecessor of the slasher.
It is, but it's not, because there's only one kill in that movie.
Yeah.
When you think of slash, you think of 10 or more, right? I mean.
So is the body count is what makes it a slasher? Because in Scream, we don't have that many of a body count, but
Friday the 13th
we would consider that a slasher. But we would consider Scream a slasher, and it did not have that high of a body count.
I don't know. It had,
the first Scream didn't have that much body count. So you had Drew Barrymore,
her boyfriend,
her boy Casey, her boyfriend, and then the principal. You had Rose McGowan. I guess, and then technically you
cameraman.
and then you have Stu and
Billy.
Billy Loomis.
That's 7 people that died in a movie.
But it ain't 8. Ain't 10. I mean, but anyway, but
you gotta say more people died than at the party. I mean,
not really. But
you don't have to say.
You don't have to say that.
Just off-camera kills.
There's no off-camera kills. What movie are you talking about? It's a Scream. But anyway,
I know what it
but
is.
We're talking about Halloween H20, and I honestly don't know if we're live. Well, I guess we are, but because nobody's paying attention, I don't think nobody likes Halloween H20.
But we didn't go on time either. So
Also, yeah, they probably have other stuff to do. Like when Bilford the Hobbit says, "I can't show up," and when Keller, when Joker TV can't show up, then yeah, you know that you're in trouble. But anyway, those are just people that tune in every week. But we're glad for those that are listening, not only through StreamYard, but also Anchor or any other platform that you listen to us on. We thank you and we appreciate you. All right, Brandon, you got the numbers?
I do.
Oh, I'm scared.
Scared? It's not that bad. I mean, it's better than the last 3 movies. How about that?
Yeah.
It's got a 5.8 out of 10 on IMDb. It's got a 2.8 out of 5 on Letterboxd. 90% like it on Google. It's got a 52% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 49% audience score. So
That's not bad.
for a Halloween movie past Halloween, it's not.
So this movie, all right. So the last Halloween film was made in 95. Was it 95, 96?
95.
And so they wanted to immediately put in production another Halloween film, but it didn't do it. Halloween 6 didn't do as well as they wanted it to do, but still made, I guess, enough to. They were gonna. So Halloween was in a place where it was gonna be coming direct to video, straight to video, and so the next series was gonna be direct to video, but what saved it was Jamie Lee wanted to come back to the series as a tribute to her fans to help kick her career off 20 years ago. And so the script was pitched around like somebody. The first script was called Halloween, the Tale of Two Faces or something, which was going to be weird. So Michael Myers would have been dead in this one. He died in jail or prison or whatever, and some guy steals his body, and either there's a copycat killer or it's Michael, but nobody knows for sure. That didn't get made, obviously.
You know what that sounds like?
What?
The book Psycho 2, where you don't know if Norman is dead or not.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It wasn't.
It wasn't interesting?
I mean, it was until it got revealed, which ruined the book. Spoilers, he's dead.
All right, well, and then so instead of going that route, then there was another part in the script that was going to have police officers, like the police that you see at the beginning that is investigating, which we'll get to the beginning, because I think the beginning of this film was really great. The police was going to be played by Charles S. Dutton. You know who Charles Dutton is?
I do.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I always got to check Brandon, see if he knows black actors just to see. But yeah, that's cool, Brandon. But
is that not a racist thing to say?
It might be a little bit, but anyway, you know, you my number one, bro. Anyway, so the he was gonna be initially he was signed on to be in the movie up until like a week before they was about to film. They decided to nix the whole police plot in the film. They said there's no need because they felt like every time the script went away from Jamie, they just wanted to get back to Jamie. So I think it's smart to nix the subplot with police officers detectives investigating.
Yeah, Michael. I mean this isn't Nightmare on Elm Street or Scream. So
yeah, And then
in a sense, it's not.
it's not. But in a sense it is. Yeah. We'll talk about that. All right. And then another thing that they wanted to do was instead of it being Marion that was killed at the beginning of this film, it was going to be Karen. They called her Carrie or Karen Loomis. It was going to be like Sam Loomis's daughter. That was, that she was his caretaker, and they nixed that. But I'm glad they brought back Marion, who was in the original Halloween film as as the nurse that was going to help take care of Michael from transporting him from Haddonfield to the penitentiary, a state penitentiary. I forget now. And then she also returned in Halloween 2. But yeah, same chain-spoken nurse from way back when, and it was really good to see her in this film. Talk about the beginning of this movie, Brandon. One more thing. So the script needed some work, so they kept begging Kevin Williamson. That's where Brandon comes in. Kevin Williamson, who at this point in his career was busy on the palette of Dawson's Creek. He was busy making that show. And so
this I did not know.
He was busy making this show, and he kept telling them no. He told Mustafa Akkad no. He told also they before I get into them, so they wanted Deborah Hill and John Carpenter to return as well. They had a meeting, John, Jamie, and Deborah and Mustafa, and I think the Weinsteins. I don't know if Mustafa was there, but the Weinsteins for sure. They had a meeting, and John demanded $10 million. He says he's owed for his IP. He's owed back money from the films that they've made leading up to this one. And so the Weinsteins laughed at John, essentially. And so John and Deborah left the project. But Jamie stayed on because she wanted to make the movie. And so big up for Jamie for staying on. But yeah. They wanted so that leads me to this. So they had some other guy, I forget his name, doing the script, and but then they kept asking Kevin Williamson to come and write. He kept saying no, but then Jamie Lee asked him to come and write, and he said yes immediately, because he says you don't turn down Jamie Lee Curtis when she asks you to do something.
But he didn't get credit for it.
Because so what he came up with was like some of the stuff that is still in there he came up with, but he didn't want, he's uncredited, but you can feel his presence in the script.
Yeah, it came
off, you know what I'm saying?
Scream SK.
Yeah. And so Kevin Williamson is an uncredited writer in this film, one of the writers. And so Brandon, kick us off. How does this movie start?
Well, this movie starts with a break-in with the nurse's home, and you get this character named Jimmy and his friend. I don't remember the friend's name, but Jimmy's played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
And the friend is played by a guy that used to be in a lot of stuff in the 90s, but I don't know his name.
Joseph has a career today.
Joseph has a career. This is post Third Rock.
Yeah, so, I would say it's,
or maybe right in the middle of Third Rock.
Post 10 Things I Hate About You Too.
Well,
wouldn't it be post that?
Yeah, that was 97, 96.
Because he looks taller in this one.
Oh, 10 Things I think is 98.
Same year, but he looks taller.
I think it's 98.
He really does look taller. That's all I'm saying. But Jimmy's like one of the coolest first victims you could ever have in a horror film.
Yeah.
Like, I cared for this little dude until his untimely death. And you don't even get to see his death. You just see the aftermath of his death. And I'm like, oh, so, Jimmy.
So, yeah, Marion, she she has a break-in at her house. She goes in the office and sees that her office has been, ransacked. And so she sees, and they start off with that Mr. Sandman song that kind of brings you immediately from Halloween 2 to Halloween H2O. So I love that carryover because Halloween 2 ended with Mr. Sandman, and Halloween H2O begins with Mr. Sandman, and so I love that that creative sew-in. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who has a career. He has a career. That guy, the guy's doing his thing. But yeah, he and his friend go over. His friend stays with her outside. He goes in to investigate because he's tough. He's freaking Robin, right? Uh, and I love the part, Brandon, where he like is stealing beer.
Yeah.
And he gets scared by noisy, and then he like destroys the kitchen.
Yes,
but then like he later on says, "Yeah," and he destroyed your kitchen. All right, bye. You know, but yeah, no, you just see the after effect of his death, which is a skate in the face.
Yes, it's
embedded.
Yeah, it was something.
It's not going nowhere.
That scene actually reminded me of like scenes from Friday the 13th, the first one, where you didn't actually see the kill. We just saw the aftermath of the kill. Because, of course, they didn't have money to actually
shoot the kills.
Yeah. But, of course, Halloween does, but it's setting up his kills for later. I mean, you just, you know that Michael's there. Comment.
James Pond, no time to flop. Hey, fellas.
Hello.
What's up, James? Thank you for joining us. We're talking Halloween H2O. You got any comments? We'll be sure to mention it to you, or put it up there. I'm checking my Facebook as well. No comments as of yet. Nobody likes us. But anyway, so he had the, his friend's death was kind of dumb. He was just stood up at the door, I guess stabbed in the back, I assume.
Yeah.
But yeah, Marion, she fought. Yeah.
You gotta be proud of her, right?
Yeah. It didn't do her no good, but
Halloween alumni fights to the end.
Yeah, and she fought to the end, and she did end all right. But I love the opening shot where the police was investigating, which was, like I said, was going to be another subplot. But they decided to nix that. But I love that when they were investigating, and they came across the. I wonder if we are live on Facebook. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, they were investigating, but no, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, they were investigating, and they decided to cancel that. But I love how they did the opening, and it's just showing the walls, and you hear an actor playing Donald Pleasance doing the voice of Donald Pleasance, who sounds just like Donald Pleasance, in my opinion.
He was close. I gave him
90%. That's pretty good percent.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I love that they were actually throwing back, paying respect to what Donald has done for this franchise. I really enjoyed that. That was sweet of them.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
I was just bringing up the cast, but we have a comment as well. Let's see. Hey, did we cover wrestling yet? Oh, not yet. You got a question about wrestling? We'll cover it. Arn Anderson telling Cody Rhodes he won't shoot somebody with a gun. Okay. That's something. That's something. Oh, I believe Arn Anderson will shoot somebody with a gun.
As CM Punk said, Arn's probably got many bodies out there, but none of them probably came from a gun.
Oh wow! I didn't get to see. I didn't get to see Dynamite.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Jungle Boy and Adam Cole was really good.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Of course, Adam Cole's the man, baby. And Jungle Boy's the future.
And then what did they do for Brody?
His kid came out there and his wife. inspired the Dark Order to win the match. But I mean, there was no Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, because he's going to Impact. But
Bray Wyatt's going to Impact.
Yeah, that's the rumor now.
Bray Wyatt's going to Impact.
Dave Meltzer had it wrong. Bray Wyatt's going to Impact. I guess you need to cancel. Keep that recorded.
No, I can't. I can't record Impact. I can't.
Bray and Braun
I don't buy it.
Nah, Bray and Braun is going to Impact.
I just can't see that. I can't.
Now you're moving. Stay.
I'm sorry.
All right. Oh, but yeah. But anyway, so there you go. So
being situated here.
After this, so essentially what it is Michael is going through her stuff, and he finds that Lori is alive. Mm-hmm. She faked her death, and she now lives in California. And so he's going to make a road trip from Illinois to California in search of his long lost sister that he wants to stab violently. And so that would have been an interesting film, just see Michael driving by himself with a mask on, breathing, all that. Like, listen to the radio, I guess. I don't know what Michael does on
my God, really?
But anyway, but then we pick up and we have a nightmare of with Laurie Strode, this Tate, Miss Tate, whatever, and it's just she comes back screaming. So it's good. It was good to have Jamie Lee Curtis return to the film, and you can tell that she was missing, like because like 4 through 6 was horrendous. Well, 4 wasn't as bad, but it doesn't hold up for me as well. But I could say 4 through 6 lost its course, and I still want Jamie. I still want Danielle Harris on the show, but I'm just gonna be real with you. It just doesn't hold up as well because it's a complicated storyline. It wasn't as complicated that was her daughter, but they were going to originally write that into the script that she was aware that she had a daughter named Jamie that was killed by Michael, and she wants to keep John alive, but they decided to nix that and say, hey, we're just going to act like 4 through 6 never happened, 3 through 6 never happened.
And you could have just pretended 6 didn't happen. Maybe 5. Keep 4.
But they make it. What they did is just made it a clean break. Yeah. Clean break. Rip it off. Band-Aid.
Was it a Band-Aid though?
It was something.
I feel like that was full blown stitches that they just ripped off.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like that they could have. I think that I always had an issue with that. Like, now I wonder what your thoughts was, because like watching this film back in the day, I was wondering how they were gonna acknowledge the whole Jamie, Lloyd dying or being killed or whatever in this film, and when they just act like it never happened. For me, I hated that. I always because I always thought. I used to try to justify it like, well, maybe she doesn't know that she's dead, because she's moved on and she gave her off because she felt like she couldn't keep her. But then she had John and she decided, okay, I'm in a better place to try to raise this kid. And that's what I was thinking. I tried to justify it.
Justifying it.
Laurie Strode has 3 kids, man. We got to talk about that. Over the course of 3 different.
Just looked at it like they just ignored 4 through 6. And that's the end of it. Well, shit. There was no, oh man, I feel bad for Danielle. Danielle's dead. I mean, Jamie's dead.
He tried to kill Danielle.
Her character is dead. So, I mean, it didn't bother me. But it would have been nice if, it would have been nice if they would have just got Danielle in to play the daughter. Mm-hmm. Ignore 4 through 6, but still have her come back. That would have worked for me. But I thought Josh Hartnett played the character well. So.
Yeah, Josh is a great actor.
I've always enjoyed Josh Hartnett.
Yeah, he played in a movie He played in a movie called Q. I think it's called Q.
Oh,
Was it O?
yeah, I DVR'd it the other night.
Oh, he played in that movie O, and which is Othello. Yeah, Othello. It's
Based
just
on Shakespeare's.
based on Shakespeare. He was so despisable. Like I just totally hated him in that movie. He does such a good job playing this villain, and it just oh my goodness. And to this day, I have an issue with Josh Hartnett because of that movie. Like I want to like him, and he's a great actor, but it just bothers me because of that movie. It's just his fault. He should have did such a good job acting. I blame him. But
He did his job.
yeah, he did his job. But you're an inspiring actor. You gotta commit to the role, man, and he did. I was looking because we was talking earlier about Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I wanted to see exactly when this came out in relation to 10 Things. Because I absolutely love 10 Things I Hate About You. It also has Heath Ledger in it. For those that haven't seen 10 Things I Hate About You, that's also based on Taming of the Shrew, which is Shakespeare play as well. I believe it's Shakespeare. I never read it. But all right. So yeah, 10 Things I Hate About You is 1999. I knew it came out like around the time I graduated.
He just looks taller.
And this came out in 98. So yeah,
he looks taller than this, and he doesn't.
And Third Rock was 1996 through 2001. But yeah, he kind of grew up on that show though. But yeah, he looks taller. But yeah, he caught that skate to the face though. I don't like Josh too. Yeah, man. Like even I think that's why I have issues getting into. That's why I have issues getting into Penny Dreadful, is because I just can't. I can't do Josh. I need to move this over. I see that happening. I just can't do Josh like that. But I think for this film, he played son. So originally, in the original script, they wanted him to be a prick to his mom, like pretty much like he's gonna. He thought he was gonna dress up like Michael and scare kids. It was a big thing. There was gonna be like a dance, Halloween dance. There's gonna be like a retractable floor in the gym. They had a swimming pool, and Michael was gonna be put in there. And I'm glad they nixed all that. The retractable pool, I think, happened on a different thing. But take over. My wife's calling me.
All right, take over. So at this point in time, she's having dreams and stuff, and
yeah,
and she's there's this thing that he wants to go to. Is it Epiphany? Is that what it's called? Epiphany. Yeah. Something Epiphany. Epiphany. Caniphany.
I thought they was going camping. I don't know
it is camping, but they call it something else throughout the whole movie. And it's like she doesn't want him to go, and did you have a good conversation with the wife?
She asked about still podcasting, and I said yes. And Halloween H20 got the most jump scares in history. It has a good, decent amount of jump scares. Hey, it's Brandon time. Yes, it was, and I just ruined it.
Well, your wife called, so
she didn't ruin it. You didn't ruin it, dear. But anyway, but yeah, so he wanted to go to that.
Yeah, the four of them, him and his girl, Michelle Williams,
and the other chick who was from
Jodie Lynn O'Keefe. Is that her name?
Yeah, I know her from something. She played like I remember a movie where she had chocolate on her teeth because she was she ate a cookie or a brownie. Mm-hmm. It was like in a 90s movie, and she was like
Jawbreaker.
Maybe it was. Was she in Jawbreaker? Like she looks so familiar to me, and I know I've seen her in something, and it's bothering me.
But yeah, anyway, they wanted to go camping, and of course, Lori's like, "No, you're not going. You know what today is?" And he's like, "Mom, when are you going to get over this?
Screw you,
It's been 20 years, So I mean,
dang, you got her name right. Go ahead, buddy. Jodie Lynn. But yeah,
she's all that.
That's it. That's what it was. That's what it was. She's all that. How did you know that?
Because I saw it.
Oh, yeah, that's
Did
what
she
it
play
was.
Freddy's ex?
She's also in Prison Break.
What's she playing in Prison Break?
She's Gretchen Morgan.
I'd have to rewatch. I don't know.
Yeah, she looks over me, but anyway, but she yes, and then like that one dude, I don't know, nobody, his name isn't important. He gets a corkscrew to the throat later, but anyway,
That's another off-screen kill.
yeah. And okay, and also we gotta talk about Michael's mask in this movie.
I mean,
So
he's dying to talk about it.
It changes so many times.
Well, this is for the better. I mean, just the hair.
One of them was this is the mask so there's a mask made by Stan Winston that was used. There was another mask that they just a blank Scream inspired mask. And I say that because it is Scream inspired. Scream came out a year before this film, and they had a mask that they wanted to invoke.
Actually, it came out
Ghostface. 2 years, okay.
Scream 2, I believe, came out in '97.
But yeah, it's true. And so
which is playing in this movie.
Yes, which also
we get to your point.
We're gonna say that here in a minute. I hate the new mask. Absolutely. When you say you hate the new mask, do you mean the new mask in like 2018, or the burnt one that's in Kills, or you mean this mask in this film? But yeah, so they have this stupid mask. One of them is a CGI face mask, and it reminds me of, if you've seen Twilight, the one where the baby is born, and then like Jacob is gonna like werewolf his way up to the baby, and the baby looks at him, and the baby's face is CGI. That's how Michael's face look in this movie, like the CGI baby's face on Twilight Breaking Down or wherever that was. Anyway, I'm not kidding you. It's like Michael's kid.
I feel like I'm Ben Affleck right now, looking away during that interview when you start talking about Twilight and the Halloween H20 review.
I do things like that, Brandon. But anyway, so this mask was terrible though. So in one, like you see the main time I remember seeing the CGI face is when that kid was killed with the corkscrew. When he turns around, he sees the face.
I never paid attention.
It's CGI mask.
To the CGI, or I didn't even know it was CGI. I read it in a review on Letterboxd that his mask was CGI. I was like, what was it?
Yeah, it was 3 different masks.
After a certain point, I just stopped looking at the mask. Because you have to when you're watching these sequels. You just have to look away because it's so bad compared to the original. I mean, this one I actually enjoyed.
It's better
more.
than 5, right?
I think it's better than 4, 5, and 6. But
okay.
It's still not great. And the hair is sticking up. He looks like Josh Hartnett from The Faculty.
I think the mask in Resurrection is one of the best looking masks, which we'll get to next week. But yeah, this mask, this mask is terrible, man.
It's hard to do a Halloween film with a proper mask.
And you would think that, I will give this to Jason. That they have Voorhees.
That Jason.
That they have been good at least being consistent with his mask.
Yeah, timelines all over the place. What
do you mean?
Jason's timeline's the worst of all of them. I
mean, yeah. But yeah, it really
hard
is.
To make fun of
Jason, really
Jason,
is. Like
considering
first 2 movies take place over the same weekend.
First 4.
That's so
2
dumb.
through 4. 2 through 4.
That's so dumb. But anyway,
but it kind of makes sense. I mean,
it don't make sense
because none of the Jasons look the same.
Because one of them, the dude's brother, the girl's brother, is coming to look for him, and he's like, "How do you know that she's missing?"
Okay, it's 6 months after that one.
Okay,
so I mean, it's not.
All right, that makes sense then.
We'll get to that when we get to them.
All right, we'll leave it alone. All right, but yeah,
let's stick with Michael. I mean, this is Michael's time to shine.
The mask, man, is just horrendous. But I do want to.
But you do like the mask better than the previous sequels, though, right?
Yes, I do. I think
maybe not 2, but 4 through 6.
Yeah,
I mean, nothing beats the original mask. But, for me, nothing.
So this is like one of the masks. I'm showing Brandon. So this is like the Scream inspired mask.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. So that's the one that when she's looking through the door.
Yeah.
So that's the Ghostface type of mask. With the little hook looking nose.
Have a feeling of Scream. I mean,
yeah. And then this is the CGI mask.
Look at that. That's bad.
And
but when you're watching it on, in the movie, you're not really paying attention to the mask. You're like, okay.
And then this is the Winston mask.
Okay, I like his better.
Yeah,
I don't like the hair.
Yeah, I don't like the hair, but the face look pretty good. But yeah, so there's like 3 different masks in the film.
You ever owned a Michael Myers mask?
I did at one point.
You like that? I mean, the hair always messes up.
Yeah,
I've seen people wearing it and just the hair's not.
Mine's kept in the closet and it, like I wore it.
I'm so ashamed of Michael right now.
I kept it in the closet. I kept it in the closet and it just melted. If I knew, and I threw it away, if I knew that he would eventually have his face melted in multiple movies, I would have kept it and just kind of gimmicked it and made it like look like that. But I seen this one where this dude like burnt the mask to try to make the kills, man, and it just melted. It's so bad. Don't do it, guys. I'm pretty sure you can buy stuff to make your mask look like that.
Wow.
But yeah, don't really blowtorch your mask. But yeah, anyway, I think I want to talk real quick about Janet Leigh popping up in this film.
The glorified cameo.
She
didn't get killed, man. I mean, she didn't.
We don't need her to die. She actually rode off into the sunset, and then this is her last film before she passed away. And so she left driving the same car she drove in Psycho.
I knew that.
And there's scores of the Psycho theme underneath her when she's leaving. She also quoted the first Halloween film where she says everybody's entitled to one good scare. Sheriff Brackett said that, so she kind of,
it would just been cool though. Say, hey, I got killed by Norman Bates earlier in my career. Then I got killed by Michael Myers.
You want to die in the shower again? What are you doing, Brandon?
I'm just saying.
Why are you trying to kill this old lady?
Not many people can say, hey, I've been killed by Michael and Norman. Just like not many people can say they've been killed by Alien, Predator, and the Terminator, but 2 actors can say they have. Well, one of them still living. Bill Paxton and Lance Hendrickson.
No, yeah. But wasn't he an android?
It doesn't matter, Harry. He still got killed. He got killed in Alien vs. Predator. He got killed in Aliens. He got killed in the Terminator.
Okay.
But I think the Terminator was off screen. But still, he got killed.
Okay. But
I know my facts, man.
You do. Some of them. But anyway.
Some of them.
But
who could get the microphone working, huh?
I got it working now. I bet you the sound sounds brilliant. Anyway.
And it doesn't.
It might not. Like nobody's tuning in. Except for John. James.
God. Oh my God.
James. Yeah, my bad.
We're canceled.
We're not canceled. We still got audience. At least one.
We're canceled.
But anyway.
You don't even know the people's name that are watching.
I do. I'm sorry. But anyway, there's a John in this movie. That's why it happened. Anyway.
Okay, let's talk about the characters a little bit.
Yeah, go for it.
Now, how do you feel? I'm not talking about the sequels, but Matt, put up to with the original. How do you feel these characters compared with the original cast? In my opinion, this is the best group of characters we've had since the original Halloween.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that Kevin Williamson's his dialogue showed through because
he knows how to write teenagers.
The kids in this film felt people everybody in this movie felt like real people, and that's what I loved about Scream is like the people felt like real. Like Dewey felt like a real Deputy Dewey. These people felt like
the Barney Fife.
Yeah. And so and I give a credit to Wes Craven who knew how to write kids as well. You know, like in Nightmare, and just really like they're really good at their craft, man. And this movie has the best characters overall since the original Halloween. I agree because if you think about it, the people that I liked in the films after Halloween 2, after Halloween, because Halloween 2, I didn't really like the characters, um, is Rachel and Jamie, you know, and then
Of course, Loomis.
Loomis.
That goes without saying.
That goes without saying. And then I didn't really care for Tommy Doyle, Paul Rudd.
But you will in Halloween Kills.
Oh, of course, I'm a Michael guy. Yeah.
I'm a Michael guy.
Yeah. Well, you know what I'm talking about.
Anthony Michael.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
exactly what you mean by
Anthony Michael. But anyway, I'm gonna, and plus the characters, you know, in that film, and well, we can get there, but this characters in this movie, to answer your question, I thought they're solid characters. I really enjoyed them.
Yeah, I even like. Okay, I love Jimmy at the beginning, but I even like Josh Hartnett's friends. You know, the guy and the girl. I think the guy's a little bit limited. You know, what is it? He doesn't have a lot of meat on him as far as a character, but I still enjoyed him. I still thought it was fun for the time he was in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the girl was better. But Michelle, though, you know, for being a Dawson's Creek alumni, for being as talented as she was, I didn't love her in the role.
She was pretty forgettable. I actually forgot she was in the movie.
And to think that she did this as they were filming the pilot for Dawson's Creek. Yeah, she has the same hairstyle, so it makes a lot of sense. But she's so much better in Dawson's Creek than she was in this movie.
So if you think about it, this movie kind of coincides with Teaching Mrs. Tingler as well, because that's also another Kevin Williamson film.
Yeah.
You know, and also
he basically ripped off Killing Mr. Griffin.
Yeah.
But made it more comedy.
But yeah,
which is a novel from which writer? Lois Duncan, which he also
I don't know this. What?
Which he also was. He took part in. I don't know if he directed it. How you doing, Cole? Keep on scratching.
Stop scratching.
Keep on scratching.
You're
Cole.
on the mic, bud.
But he also, I don't know if he directed it, but I believe he did write the screenplay for I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Really?
Yeah, Lois Duncan novel.
Did
nothing to do with the story actually, but you know the movie's so much better than that book.
Did so? What was the? I was going to ask you a question. Because Kevin Williamson also, like, he had Dawson's at the same time, and
when he got
and then he had Teaching Mrs. Tingle, and then I thought he had another type of teen horror film.
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I Know What You Did Last Summer. Okay, that's what it was. He like I know he had like and if you think about it, what he did and with this movie as well, even though he didn't direct this, Steve Miner directed this one, who did Forever Young, with Jamie Lee and Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson, yeah. I was gonna go with Friday 13th Part 2 and 3.
He
is the man that's responsible for bringing Jason on to screen, pretty much.
Oh, but he was that's Steve Miner.
Mm-hmm.
So he was the director that he was during the cocaine filled days of Friday the 13th. Like it wasn't until like
we don't talk about that, Aaron.
It wasn't until I think I want to say the one with fake Jason or
That's
one or 5 or 6, one of those.
The fake Jason be 5.
Who the director? Who directed 5? Who directed?
Porn director.
5 is porn.
Mm-hmm.
6. 6 is what I'm thinking about. Then.
Oh, I can't think of his name.
But that guy, if that guy was actually they said that he has the best. He had the best shooting experience on the Friday 13th film because he was just so personal. He didn't allow drinking and all that stuff and drugs because there's kids. You know, and so yeah, it was
there's
that
no
one.
nudity on that film either.
So you know, and that's probably
and it is
one of my favorite ones actually.
For most fans, it is the best one.
Yeah. For me, I really enjoyed it.
For me, it comes down to 6 and 4, but
I love this very dark comedy, but we'll talk about that as you said when we get there. But yeah, what? Let me ask you, what did you feel about what's her name, Jodie? What's it?
Jodie then. Okay.
Yeah, what did you think about her death scene?
I love the whole ankle getting caught in there.
Don't you feel it every time?
Yeah,
like it's just like ooh.
I was like, move that foot, keep crawling.
Yeah.
Then when it's going down, I'm like, oh man,
it's like, and it looks like it almost severs it. It's just like it's no good to her. She can't run if she wanted to.
Nah, she's done.
And then Michael, she begs Michael, and he's like, "No, I'm just gonna stab you a bunch of times."
Yeah.
And
it's like,
and then like there's a hollowed out, and that's very Casey and Scream like too, like the way that she was hanging.
I was even gonna say the original Halloween when he kills his sister.
Yeah, but I was saying, but with that, you didn't really see the aftermath.
Yeah.
Like with this one, she's hollowed out. You can see the light inside of her, and she's like hanging up. It's very
hung her up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, it's very creepy, man. Michael likes decorating houses with bodies.
Maybe that's a little throwback to Black Christmas, the original.
Yeah, think about Michael killing people and spending the time to be like, well, let me put this one in the closet. You know where I'll put this one? On the bed. I'll put this one hanging up in the door so that when and he like gets it up there and then closes the door and says, I'm gonna go out the window now because I got it gigged up. I got it up there. It's just saying. It's like him and Jason has the same thing where they like want to hide bodies, but Jason's not as good at hiding them. He just kind of just like, okay, it's just gonna put it right there.
Jason's like, I want you to find the bodies at the perfect time.
Yeah,
because it's gonna freak you out. He's gonna end up showing up, and it's just Jason wants you to find them.
The bodies lead in Friday 13th. The bodies lead you to Jason.
Yeah.
In Nightmare in Halloween, the bodies are just there, and it just a
decoration.
Yeah, just so you can see them. And then if you happen to see Michael, then it's a bonus for him. but in Friday 13th, Jason has a purpose for these bodies.
And you really want to talk about Jason, don't you?
Hey man, I can't wait to it. Can't wait to do it next year. But yeah, but with this one, who do you feel like is the strongest? Would it have been John Tate?
You're talking about the kids?
Yeah. Not just the kids, but just other than Jamie. Because LL is not. LL is the worst security guard ever.
I love him though. He's doing poetry with his wife on the phone. Something you should try sometime.
All righty. Okay. Shots fired. Okay.
Oh, I'm just having a little fun with you.
You having something? All right. My expense. All right, let me check out Facebook.
Remember, you roasted me that one time?
Yeah, I do. I guess I'll never forget that ever in my life. I'm gonna check out because just make sure nobody's commenting on Facebook because I tend to leave them out, and I apologize if you're listening. That's okay. But anyway, where am I going? I'm going here. But anyway. Yeah. So, what character did you
enjoy the most?
Yeah.
Outside of Jamie's, truthfully, I gotta go Joseph Gordon-Levitt with Jimmy. I really enjoyed.
Really?
I really enjoyed his time on the film.
You wish more of him?
Yeah, I wanted more. Like when he shows up, and originally when he shows up, I was like, oh, he's gonna have a big part in this movie, because I think I saw this before I saw Scream. Because I don't think I saw Scream right off. Maybe I did. I don't recall. But it's very much like that Scream moment, except you don't get to see him die. Because he's a bigger star in the movie in the opening scene. But I really like Jimmy. But I really do love LL Cool J in this movie. I love that he is doing poetry on the phone at work when he's not paying attention to nothing.
He literally is the worst security guard. And in Deep Blue Sea, he was the worst cook. He's just like
I wouldn't say he's the worst cook.
I mean,
he did kill some sharks.
He did kill some sharks though. But real quick, I was trying to think of this
Who was
too.
your favorite?
Oh, okay. I would say I always like Jamie Lee more, but other than her,
Well,
let
yeah,
me see.
you didn't want to go her.
Yeah, John Tate.
Yeah, I mean, he's great.
Yeah.
And I liked Alan Arkin's character in this movie too.
Mm-hmm.
I love the
I always
scene.
thought that he was like a low budget George Clooney. Like they can't get George, so they get him.
Yeah, I don't recall him in much though.
He had a Michael face.
He's I know he's in H20 and he's in Lake Placid.
He is.
Those are literally the only two films I can really think of him in. But
ready for Clarksville Con? I'm not going. I don't know.
You're not going?
You going?
I don't remember when it is. Probably not.
Yeah, I guess not. I guess we're not ready for Clarksville Con. But
I wanted to go, but I'm probably not gonna get to.
But
it is what it is.
Yeah. But good question. I'm not going. But yeah, thank you. But I wanted to talk about the because there's not many characters in the movie. Really, it's like a small cast.
Yeah.
It felt like the first one in the sense of it's a small number of people, and you pretty much know who's gonna die. Other than LA, you thought he was gonna die, but you pulled one out, didn't he?
But one thing I will say about this movie, I do love Jamie's performance. Her character dealing with PTSD.
Mm. She's an alcoholic, but she's a controlled alcoholic.
Yeah, she's an alcoholic. She is freaked out for this day, though. I mean, and she upped it for H20. Yeah, that's what I like to call it, H40.
Yeah, that's good.
H2018. She's just gone in that performance. I mean,
she like takes a totally different route. Like where in this one, she's like PTSD mom who is struggling to keep her son safe, and also trying to teach kids. And she's trying to, but she's also drinking a lot, and she's just super hyper paranoid, but not survivalist. Whereas in H40, as you stated, she is straight survivalist. Like I would hate for anybody to just walking on her property. I'm pretty sure she has bear traps.
She was prepared like Sarah Connor's prepared.
I'm pretty sure she got some bear traps. She probably got some of those hose with spikes in it. I'm pretty sure it's a bad idea to go trampling around her property. Like if your ball lands in her yard, it's gone. Or unless you want to die, she'll shoot you. Especially if you have a white mask or you're just a very pale white person, you're probably in trouble.
Why do I feel that was directed towards me?
What's your fave kill in this one? All right, good question.
Jamie killing Michael.
Ooh, well,
it's my favorite. It's my favorite moment in the whole Halloween franchise.
My favorite kill in this movie would have been, I would say the girl with the dumb waiter. But yeah, with that scene, I want to say this real quick before we get there. All right, so I literally not literally, but I believe that I saw this in theaters. And what made me remember this is I remember watching this movie, and I felt like I was watching it in theaters. Cause I remember whenever she chops his head off, I remember the audience like gasping and clapping. I remember the experience. So I want to say I've seen this in theaters, and I just don't remember like seeing it.
I remember my first time seeing Michael.
Did you see this in theaters?
No.
I think I saw this in theaters. I remember that experience. Yeah.
I remember Resurrection was the first time I saw Michael. Saw it with my brother. And it was a good experience.
I want to say H20 was the first time I saw it.
When I first saw it, I mean, I really enjoyed Resurrection.
Even the Busta?
See, Busta Rhymes never bothered me. Like it has bothered a lot of people.
Bothered me.
I was like, that's cool. I thought, that's good. Don't think I'm a racist when I say this, but I was like, the black people are always saying they die first in horror movies. And you got one that survives here. And he not only survives, he helps take down Michael. I thought that was good for the black community.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. The what they call the sacrificial Negro. So in watching Freddy versus Jason, which is that's the way it is. Freddy versus Jason, right? It's Freddy's film. Jason just happened to be in it.
Yeah.
If you call that Freddy, Jason, right? But anyway, so
it's not the Jason we know
it's
and
not,
love.
it's not my Jason. Hashtag not my Jason. But
Kane said he wouldn't have done it that way. That's all I can tell you.
But yeah, he quivers, man. But anyway, Kelly Rowland in that movie, she essentially is in there just to sacrifice herself so that the white people can live. That is her role in that film at the end of the movie, is to be the sacrificial Negro. It's a trope that's in a lot of films. But yes, to your credit, in Halloween Resurrection, Buster is not that. Buster actually helps.
Trick or treat, Mikey.
He's essentially the there's another trope in films called what's it called? Ex Machina. Deus Ex Machina. Deus Ex Machina. Have you heard that term?
I've heard the game.
Okay. Deus Ex Machina is God is essentially the God that comes from above, or it's what it is in films is salvation coming from the skies. So if you think about a movie where people are fighting and there's an army and the army's about to die and get destroyed, and all of a sudden troops come in like some flies, and you're like, oh, they're here to save us and helps. That's Deus Ex Machina. So that's that Ex Machina moment where somebody come from above to help save the day. That was turned around on his head in Alien, because instead of help coming from the heavens, it was the alien, right? That rose from the top, came down to destroy them, which was great. That's them flipping that concept on his head. But yeah, in Halloween Resurrection, Busta Rhymes is Ex Machina. He comes in to save them. That's the film geek in me. But anyway, but I love film theory. All right, I'm sorry to get all educational. First time was on USA Network for you, Joker. All right. Yeah, so you watched the edited version. That's interesting. I wonder how that was. Like what do you really show in this movie? Like, there's no nudity at all in this film either. So
No.
like it's really like if you think about Scream and this and things like that, they kind of followed this, like they didn't need it. It wasn't necessary for the story.
Yeah.
And it still made for a compelling movie. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, but no, we're gonna go ahead and talk about it. The last part. So
hang on. Before we get to the last part, we gotta talk about how she gets John Michelle to safety. She tells him to go.
What'd you think about that part, real quick? What'd you think about the part where Michelle and John is like between the gates and the door?
Oh, yeah. I thought that was great. I thought that was like very suspenseful.
You know that happened to Kevin Williamson. That's why he wrote it in there.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he says that him and somebody was being mugged, and so they ran, and they got behind this gate where they lived and locked themselves in, and it's just that little bit of space, and they try to get him. They're trying to hurry him get in the house when these people try to mug him. I said that would be truly freaky. And then like he drops his keys,
yeah,
and the person's like, what do you do? He's like, no, hurry up, open the door. What did you think about that?
I thought it was very suspenseful. I thought, and I want to, maybe not. I don't know. Were they using a real knife in that scene?
I don't know.
I had always heard they were.
Could have been. I don't know. Maybe.
That's
terrible if it is.
It would have made it more terrifying if I would have been Michelle Williams. Because this is like one of her very first roles. And, I'm in a Halloween picture. I know it's Josh Hartnett's first role. He's probably scared to death. I'm in a Halloween picture.
Yeah, because it was like right at him.
And I remember him saying in an interview once that, okay, this is like the 7th movie. Is this even going to be good? I was like, if it wasn't without Jamie, it probably wouldn't be.
Yeah, Jamie saved it from going direct to video.
Yeah. And he
Like,
even said, "Is it even gonna go to the theaters?" I mean, it's like 7 movies in. It's like this is probably direct to video, right? So I don't know. His agent, I've had to talk him into it.
glad they did, because it gave us Josh Hartnett and kind of launched his career.
Yeah.
Like he's clearly, and it's crazy to think about it because Jamie Lee was already established when this movie came out, but this movie launched 2 successful careers in Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Josh Hartnett. Like truly successful careers. I would argue that Joseph is more successful now than Josh.
I mean,
but Josh is still doing his thing. But Josh is doing what he wants to do. He doesn't really do commercial stuff. He likes to he's in a movie. He's in The Wrath of God, right? Wrath of Man. Yeah. Like my wife was watching it the other night, and I was like, "It's Josh Hartnett." I was like,
I was surprised to see him in a role like that. Like I figured if he's going to do something, he's going to be one of the leads, but he really wasn't.
And
he's
okay with it. He's okay. Yeah. Like he played that
part.
Getting
to work with Statham. I mean,
yeah,
and Guy Ritchie. So I mean.
Statham is the right now.
I would say Statham is the action star.
He is
today.
He is. Statham is.
Fast and Furious launched that. I mean, where he just became like a global star.
Yeah, well, I'll say the Transporter.
I don't know. His movies weren't making a lot of money though.
Yeah, but Transporter, because I know him from back with Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Ghost of Mars.
I know him from Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, the Guy Ritchie film. Also, he is in Snatch. He was in those earlier films, but yeah, that's where I recognize him from. And then also Ghost of Mars, which is terrible.
He's very green in Ghost of Mars.
The movie's so bad,
but he's also my favorite character in Ghost of Mars. That just tells you how bad Ice Cube was.
But but it's crazy because when you see people like that, you see them, you're like, man, yeah, you could tell that this person will be a star. This person has that to grab you. You know what I'm saying?
But factor.
Yeah, the factor. What were you about to say though before we get to
I was gonna say when she gets John and I forget her name, Michelle Williams' character to Satan and tells him to go, and she grabs that axe and she yells out Michael. That is the turning point for her character. Where
she decides I'm not gonna run no more.
Yeah, I'm not a victim, I'm a survivor. And I think it is the best moment for me personally in the Halloween franchise.
Yeah.
When she decides not to be the victim anymore.
I would have been okay with this being the last film. But
kind of wish it would have been.
I mean, they
for her character's
perspective. Yeah. Which I think that I honestly think in Kills, I think she would die. Honestly.
You mean Ends?
Or Ends, yes.
She's in Ends.
She'll die. But you gotta have, but in some way you gotta have the victim beat the villain, beat the person. So it's like we was talking about with the Three from Hell, and the Firefly trilogy. You can't just keep having these villains win, even if you like them. Even if I like Michael Myers,
that's what hurts that movie so much.
Michael has to be defeated at one point. You can't continue to have the villain win. Jason has to be defeated.
He's defeated every movie.
Yeah. I'm saying Freddy. He's defeated every movie. But he played on. He says, "I've been burnt. I've been blah blah blah. I keep on kicking." But I just recently watched those again. But
I know, Aaron. I know
you did. But real quick, what was your thoughts on that final circuit though? It's with her like it started with her grabbing that axe and busting the thing. So no, I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me, and that's what I got from that. No, you ain't not going nowhere.
Yeah, she aims to end this, and one way or another, it's ending tonight. I think, as she says in the trailer, Halloween Kills. But I loved it. I thought, and I'm not lying. This is my honest opinion. I think the ending of H20 is the best moment in the Halloween franchise.
So leading there, we have Laurie. She is fighting Michael throughout the the halls of the school.
Oh yeah, when he's turning the tables.
Yeah,
I
and
love
then
that.
she goes and hides under the tables, which is a very it's a very suspenseful scene. And like she's crawling and he's walking on top of the tables, like right above her, and then swoops at her, like slashes at her, and they fight, and eventually they fight up to the top, and she takes and stabs him a bunch of times, and like causes him to fall and is unconscious.
Yeah.
And she goes to like death blow, but no, LL Cool J gotta show up. Talking about he dead. No, LL, you new to this movie. He's still alive. You don't know this man.
New to this movie.
You don't know this man. This man is real. You don't know he's alive. He's been stabbed. He's been burnt. He's been shot 6 times.
But he has no burn marks in this one.
Yeah, because maybe he didn't really get burnt. Maybe it's I don't know. I can't explain that, man. He has no burn marks.
No need to explain. Just go with it.
Yeah,
because you're going to have to go with a lot in Friday the 13th.
Yes. Like Jason's face change. Okay, I'd like to talk about that. But real quick, in watching Friday the 13th, the remake, reboot rather. Listen, I'm not a big fan of Jason with hair on his head. I like a clean too. I like a clean bald.
That comes in 3.
I like the clean bald look.
He's got hair in 2.
Yeah, I'd like the clean bald look. That's what I'm saying. I never liked it with the hair. Clean
He's
bald.
He's got some hair in 2. Let me tell you.
That's fine. But in 3 and red, like when Kane is in it, really... and then before Kane, yeah, I like bald Jason.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have some complaints from movie 2 to movie 3 because he's got hair in 2. The next day, you don't have any.
We'll see. But back to this. That scene where so LL comes in because he's brand new to the franchise, don't know how the rules are. He stops her from stabbing.
He don't know who Michael is.
He don't know who Michael is. He thinks it's just some dude that showed up. He don't know. At this point, he really don't know what's going on. Like if you think about it, all he knows is he showed up in the school and got shot by faux George Clooney. And
he's gonna write a romantic thriller. By the end, he gets inspired from Michael. I mean, he just gets inspired.
Maybe, hopefully, it takes off. But
it's been 20 years
with the milling breasts he talked about. But anyway, so he stops her.
Yeah,
and so they loading what you think is Michael, and that's my question. They loading Michael, and then. But it's really, we find out in Resurrection that it's not Michael. But
obviously.
But in this movie, from what I see, everything in watching this film, and I'm acting like Resurrection hadn't happened yet.
Because it hadn't.
But you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
It's totally Michael.
Yeah.
Like from the reason him getting in the sleeping bag, the body bag, and then him. Like, okay, maybe he is just some random guy that just pops up and tries to stop her from in the van, and she slams on the brake and he goes out the window, but he does the Michael raise, that Michael sit up and turns.
The only time I would question if it was Michael or not is when he's reaching out his hand.
Or when he grabs his and he kind of has a look of like, where am I? Like, what's going on? What is this? But
when you're watching it for the very first time, you don't think that's not your process.
No, you think Michael isn't used to being in this position.
He's never been in this position.
He's never been stuck.
He's never been stuck.
He's never been the prey.
No,
essentially, he's now the mouse.
He's always been the great white shark.
Yeah,
that keeps on going.
Yeah, and so he's now in this trap where he knows that it's the end. And so he does the handout and reaches for her to I'm your brother, please don't kill me, type of stuff. But she goes to reach for his hand, but at the last moment she looks at his eyes, and in his eyes it says, "I'm gonna kill you."
Mm-hmm.
I assume that's what it was. And so she just.
He also had no eye damage. Or is she?
From 2?
Yeah, where he gets shot in the eye.
we're gonna act like 2 didn't really.
What
all
they
the way
really
happen.
should have done was just done a direct sequel to the original, like 2018 did.
I agree.
Then they wouldn't have a brother.
Yeah, but
They
yeah,
weren't thinking
they weren't because they thought 2 was good.
People still love to. That's probably why they did
Yeah.
it.
So and that's true. But now with all that I just said, Brandon, can you explain to me how that isn't Michael? Can you explain? Like, there's no reason. There's nothing in there that says that's not Michael.
No, I mean you can't explain it. Even if when we get to Resurrection and they do explain it, they show exactly what happened. Michael didn't have enough time to do all that, realistically. So it shouldn't have. Okay, this scene shouldn't have happened if you were planning to do a sequel. I mean, this scene should only happen.
Blame Mustafa.
I'm just saying though, this scene should only happen if this is the defining ending of Michael Myers. Otherwise,
everybody loved the ending. Everybody loved the ending.
Yeah,
Jamie loved the ending. Steve Miner loved the ending. Everybody loved the ending, but you know what? Mustafa said, "Nope."
Of course, it's like Cunningham saying, "Well, not anymore," but that's like Cunningham saying, "You can't kill Jason. We got to make him come back."
So, all right. Real quick, we'll explain this, and then I'm going to ask you a bonus question about that because I want to ask you at the top of the show, but I totally forgot about that. All right. So Michael's dead, and the music hits. And it's a great end, and you see her standing like victorious.
Yes.
Like, and it's the best ending of the series. Like, that's the last movie that there will be of Halloween, and that's what
it's a great finale.
It's a great finale.
It gives her closure. It gives the franchise closure from the terrible sequels that came. This brought Halloween back, in my opinion, to great heights, almost to the heights of the original. Almost, not quite there, but it was almost.
And then they tainted it with Resurrection.
You can't say anything otherwise than it's tainted with Resurrection. The fact that it got made, whether it would have been a blockbuster of a movie, it still would be tainted because you ruined the ending of H20.
What I was thinking they was going to do with Halloween or Resurrection, or one point is the Halloween Homecoming, I think, I thought what they're going to do was have John Tate become the Michael. Like not Michael himself, but just from everything that he went through, he starts to, like, that evil kind of lives within him. And he's going to become John Tate, but a name now synonymous with, like, killing people, but no, he never exists no more. You don't hear no more about John Tate.
No, they could have went in a direction with his character coming back though after Resurrection. Easily. I mean, and we'll talk about that next week, but that would have been the direction I would have went if you were going to do a sequel to Resurrection.
All right, so ready for your marks?
Oh yeah.
All right.
I give it 4 out of 5 on this one. I'm so thankful to give it a positive score again.
I'm with you. I give it 4 out of 5.
I think it delivered everything it promised to deliver. Even 3 years
It still
later,
holds up, man. It still holds up. This is now, how long has it been?
23 years.
Yeah, it still holds up today, man. It's a breath of fresh air, especially from that horrendous 6 that we had.
I would just go with the Thorn trilogy.
The Thorn trilogy, yeah. It just was bad. Like, when you think about those movies, I immediately think of Paul Rudd's face looking at Michael and at goofy look on his face, and he's hitting the door with the fire extinguisher. That's what I think of. That's what that movie boils down to. There's none of that in here. This is all Michael. And Michael is now scary again in this movie. Like that scene, and we didn't even talk about this scene of the bathroom scene, at the rest stop.
Oh yeah,
that was such a great, scary scene. Like, especially for their mom.
Yeah, but the only thing with that scene though, I think Michael would have killed her and her daughter.
And now we know that he would have. In this new one, yes, he would have.
Because I mean, He killed whoever got in his way.
Yeah.
Every obstacle that was in his way.
In this, he just
in the original, he killed him. Like, he didn't care. So he showed, I would say, mercy towards the mother and the daughter here, because he could have easily killed him and still left. I mean, there was no one else there. I mean, I was like, that's not Michael Myers in that moment. But the rest of the movie, I felt was.
I'm glad he didn't kill the kids.
I mean, I'm glad he didn't, but
in 2018, yeah, he'll kill a kid.
He has no humanity whatsoever.
He doesn't. He didn't kill the baby. I'm glad he didn't kill the baby.
Yeah, he left her alive
but the baby ain't gonna live. I mean, like, nobody knows this lady's dead.
If it does live, it's gonna want revenge.
The baby don't know what happened.
It will be told what happened.
They will literally know what happened. He didn't really yes, he didn't physically kill that child.
She's not dead yet, or he's not dead yet. We don't know though.
But
that baby could die in the sequel.
But listen, the grandmother or whoever was that is dead. That baby's in the house by himself or herself. That baby, until someone comes to check on that baby, or the mom, you never know. It could have been.
I think something will be explained.
It could have been that lady's baby that lived a couple of doors down that he killed and stabbed in the mouth. And so now, next thing you know, that baby don't have nobody. Nobody knows what's going on. They smell something.
You are getting a lot of throwbacks and callbacks to the original characters. You know, I didn't want to watch the last trailer, but it played today at the movie theater.
I haven't. I tried to.
I was like, I didn't want to know this, but now I'm glad I know this because I know certain characters were in the original. Please. I ain't gonna tell you who they are.
Okay, I'm good.
But it does show flashbacks of their characters in the original movie.
I'm fine with that. No more talking about it. All right, real quick, explain. That's Halloween H20. We will be next week. We'll be talking about Halloween Resurrection. Real quick before we cut and come to a close, explain Jason Voorhees and what's going on and what that verdict means.
I didn't read it all, but so he won the case. What was it before COVID hit? And
so this is the original writer of
Victor
Friday
Miller.
13th. Okay.
And Sean Cunningham appealed it, and he lost again. So Victor now has sole rights to the Friday the 13th name, not Jason himself yet. But I'm sure they'll work out a deal. I mean, because if Miller doesn't have Jason, and he doesn't.
Victor Miller owns the rights to Jason Voorhees.
No, he owns the rights to Friday the 13th,
but not to the Voorhees name.
No, he can't use it. He can use young Jason. Because he created young Jason. Well, in a sense, he can do young Jason, but he can't do adult Jason. Okay. Because Sean
still owns adult Jason.
Yeah,
but he can't. Yeah. But he can't call it Friday 13th.
No.
So
only Victor can call it Friday 13th.
But he can do a movie called Jason Voorhees or anything like that. Or
I think so.
Or is the IP in itself the name?
But Jason I think Voorhees. Victor has Camp Crystal Lake, all that stuff. He just doesn't have adult Jason.
Well, you can clearly. Well, Sean Cunningham's an idiot, so he's not.
I'm glad it happened though. He's been living off this character for years, and he's put him in space for Christ's sake.
Well,
I mean, he don't care about. He's like Mustafa or whatever his name was. Well,
yeah.
He don't care about the product itself. He cares about the money.
Well, he's dead now. He doesn't.
But still, that's what it came down to.
But yeah, I just wanted to see what your thoughts were on it.
I'm glad it happened. I hope Jason returns.
But
adult Jason, that is, returns. Hope they work out a deal there. Because if they don't, they're both being stupid.
Yeah. Well,
Jason's money.
Yeah.
He's always been money. So.
Yeah, maybe if Marvel and Sony.
Same lawyer though. Is in another lawsuit with Marvel and the original writers.
Oh, yeah, they're trying to get. Listen, Disney will win.
I don't know.
Disney had a law change.
May settle. Disney had a Scarlet.
Disney had a law changed so that they don't have to give away things that was about to become like public domain. Some of the characters.
I mean,
like Disney did that.
I hope
Who has power to do that?
I hope Disney
The mouse. The mouse can do that.
I wished it was out of Disney's hands, and Marvel Studios was just Marvel Studios. It wasn't part of Disney.
Yeah,
but
it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta roll with the devil.
I hate that Disney.
It's like Bedazzled
controls so much.
Bedevil.
I was saying Disney controls so much, not the devil, but the devil does control I.
No, I'm talking about the Brandon Fraser film, Bedazzled. Yeah, where like the devil gives him what he wants, but it's always tainted. Like, yeah, you get it, but you got this is the craziness. But
things you want most in life are usually tainted.
Yep. Yeah, preach. But all right, this is the end of this podcast. We went for an hour and 20 minutes. We're gonna stop before we're about to be hour 21.
Hope y'all enjoyed it though.
Aaron Whitlow,
Brandon Spivey,
and thank you for marking out with us here on the Markout Movie